Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another week with us here at Apollo Racing Club. My name is Matt McAdams, and joining me again in the commentary booth is going to be Fred Fosberg. Go ahead and say something to the nice folks watching at home.
Hello, and welcome to the new age of ACC, with the new tire models that throws a big spanner into the works of pretty much every driver that is driving this simulator at this point.
Yeah, and we are going to be seeing that in full effect here today. We're going to be racing at Spa, just waiting for the end of free practice to close up here, and then we'll begin qualifying. Before we get too far into the stream, just real quick, want to go ahead and throw a thank you out to our partners, as well as the various couple sponsors we've got. Big one that I forgot to throw out into the ether from last week is actually Pitwall. We now have a nice fancy new Pitwall account, so we'll be streaming real-time timings and all of that. Just something else for you guys to look at while we're driving. Really neat tool. It's got a track map. Eventually, I'll get it set up so that it actually shows the stream, so you might even just be able to watch it all from there. So keep your eyes on the lookout for that. I'm going to throw that link out in chat really quick, hopefully without deafening myself. Come on. There we go. All right, here, let's go ahead and get that link out there. And as always, to our other partners and sponsors, we've got a couple of them. So we've got Grid Finder, SimGrid, and Driver61. All of them. Big thanks to you guys for helping Apollo Racing Club do our thing, keep us running, make things nice and exciting. So in just a second, to the chat, there is going to be video here in just a second. I was waiting for some of the amateurs to make their way out onto the grid before I turned the video over to that. So let's go ahead and take a look at what is going on out on the track here. And let me pick a better car than the one I've got, because right now we're looking at a pit lane. There we go.
It looks like we have a bunch of AM drivers down track. We have also a new name that I've not seen before. We actually have two, from what I can gather. We have Gabriel Ingersoll from, I think, that's Australia, because it doesn't have the red stars. So big welcome to the ARC community. And I also see a Mercedes that I haven't seen before, car number 106, that is currently sitting there's just after pits there. Brett, Italian surname, I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher it.
Brett, Italian surname, I love it. That's pretty good. So you folks
probably go through the name list before and learn how to pronounce anything. I'm sorry for
just DM everybody, make sure you can pronounce their name. I need to do the same thing if I'm being completely honest. But just another real quick disclaimer. As you guys know, we run custom liveries here at Apollo Racing Club. Some of them are going to be broken. As we were mentioning just a second ago, the new 1.8 update launched for Assetto Corsa, and with it changed a lot about the game. It broke some of the custom liveries. Some drivers reached out to me, some haven't had the opportunity yet, so if you're watching this after the race, drivers, I can only do so much. So anybody who doesn't see their livery, reach out to me after the race. We'll get that rectified before next week. But we are now on our first hot lap, and actually it is going to be the newcomer, Gabriel Ingersoll, in the McLaren, working his way around turn one up into Eau Rouge. It's see how he manages it. I know when I was practicing with Fred earlier in the week, McLaren was giving him some trouble. Looks like
looks very planted.
Yep, looked very planted, no lift there.
But it looked very solid. If we want to go back on the BOP changes that it's been just a few days ago, the cars that got hit the hardest overall, according to me at least, but it looks like Gabriel goes a bit wide into the Lacombe section. But anyway, the car that got hit the hardest is probably the Porsche. And the car that got hit the second hardest, definitely the Audi, because the Audi got pretty much destroyed on the international tracks with a plus 60 kilogram add to the car's normal bop. So it's going to be slow and hard to control in the fast corners. But the McLaren, surprisingly, got buffed although that was the car that won SRO in Europe last season, it got buffed on pretty much all tracks. So expect the McLarens to be strong for the end of this season.
Yeah, and as we're seeing already, Gabriel putting a bit of a gap to the car behind. Not sure if that's just good quality etiquette. Maybe the car behind didn't have the best start to the hot lap, but he's certainly pulling a gap to number 99 behind him. That's going to be Pop Dog. And another McLaren, actually.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to watch
and then
that
we have
rivalry
Eric Chang
evolve.
coming up behind. We have a big title fight going on. We sadly don't have Hungarian here tonight, who is part of that freeway battle. But it's only 5 points between Eric Chang and Pop Dog going into the final 3 rounds of the race.
Ooh, as Pop Dog misses the corner there a little bit.
And Eric also goes wide.
There goes Eric, yeah. And now Sam's going to go ahead and join the chat here and work his way around Pop Dog there. Ordinarily, I would say that's probably not the best move during quali, but I don't think he had a chance there. So we got our first clean lap times in. We're going to get a 2:19.7 out of G. Ingersoll, and that is going to be a 2:18 or a 2:20 out of Sam Carsala. Castiani coming in just after that with a 2:22. Expect some slower lap times, folks. We've Fred and I have both experienced it, and Kunos has been very upfront about it. The new BOP changes, as well as the tire modeling, as well as some of the other physics things that they've done, have slowed down cars on average anywhere of excess of a second at most tracks, and that is especially apparent here at Spa. We have a new provisional pole there, 2:19.6 out of Mike Jones. Not a name we see super often, but glad to see him out on the track here in the 50 Shades of Honda.
Yep, I got to say that to see a fellow Honda driver doing well really pleases my heart. Can't say anything else. We're far and few between, but we stick out for each other. So good lap by Mike Jones there. Other than that, Brett in the BTW Mercedes puts in a decent first lap for a guy that I haven't seen before. And the car looks planted. And the Mercedes is going to be a really... Sorry?
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, Exia. Oh, wait, Exia. Why aren't you here?
Yep, we got chat filling up. I'm trying to stay up to date with you guys. Chat, how you doing? It's good to see you out there. You're in for an exciting race here. Spa with a pretty full grid right after some pretty massive BOP and physics changes in the game. There's going to be nothing but surprises here today. But what were you saying about that Mercedes before I cut you off there, Fred?
The Mercedes is one of the cars that got buffed a lot as well. And one thing that they did for it is that they lowered the fuel consumption by 11% on the car. Jeez. And the only real issue that the Mercedes had compared to other cars was that it took too much fuel, because it's a monster on the straight, and you can set it up to be nimble in the corners. Although it doesn't look like a nimble car, it can be done. So I'm expecting that car to be very racy coming into the race, just because of how much grunt the car has on the straights.
Just a real quick update on some of the standings here. Sam Carsala comes across the line with a 1 second improvement over his previous best lap, posting a 2:19.7, moving himself up into provisional podium position here in third place now. Looking around the leaderboard here, just looking for anybody else who's on a particularly good lap. Let's go ahead and we're going to ride along with Alan Zhu, just starting up a new lap here. 2/10 up out of the first corner, up.
Pop Dog crashes in a Rouge. He's not on the racing line though.
Oh, so and we... What an angle there to catch that one on stream. Everybody awake? I know Alan is. But even with that distraction in the middle of the Camel Straight, 9/10 up on the Delta, loses a little bit going into Lacombe here. See if he's able to pull it back going down the hill. He lost a lot of time there in that complex. Now down to 3/10 up on the lap. Might be able to get a little bit more time out of No Name. Let's see what he does here. No, and it does look like it's going to be a little slow. Maybe he has better luck in the double left up here.
One thing that's worth mentioning is that both the contenders for the AM win at the moment hasn't set a valid lap time yet. Both Pop Dog and Eric Chang are still without a valid lap in the qualifying. And it's closing up to maybe not, so they might not even have time for a qualifying lap at this point.
Yeah, because a real quick reminder to anybody who's joining us for the first time here, we do have split qualifying sessions. So the first 10 minutes belongs to the amateur class drivers, followed by the pros afterwards. And with as long of a lap time as Spa provides, they are running out of time to try and get that clean lap in. Right now we're watching David Chang in the McLaren here. Currently a second and a half up in the Delta. Would be, excuse me, I've got hiccups. Would be enough to move him up into third place and bump Sam out, who's currently sitting in the pits finishing the his qualifying session there, satisfied with that 2:19. We'll see if David here has anything to say about it. Coming around Blanchimont right now, into the bus stop chicane here pretty soon, and we'll see if that lap time sticks. Still peeling some Delta away from there, 1.6 now.
Yeah. Eric Chang managed to put a lap in, so he has the time. So at this moment, it's advantage for Chang in the battle between him and Pop Dog, but it doesn't look like Pop Dog is gonna. No, he's not gonna have enough time.
No, and
he's not gonna have enough time.
We have a new provisional pole in the AM class now as well. David Chang manages a 2-second improvement on the previous lap time, setting a 2:19.5, boxing out Gabriel Ingersoll, the newcomer, from first place by less than 1/100th of a second.
Really good lap. Really good lap. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be tight between the AM drivers there. And also, one thing that is worth mentioning is that that David Chang managed to beat the timer, so he still has time for yet another lap doing this.
Yep, and we are going to start to see the pros making their way out onto the track. So time is of the essence for the AMs who are still out there right now watching M. Jones here, who has just enough of an improvement in the Delta in order to take pole away if he can stick it. Oh, and there it went, just like that. Commentator's curse strikes again, folks.
Yeah, I'm looking at David Chang at this point, and he is pretty much even, but he improves going out of no name. Yeah, he is dead even on his current Delta. Going into Puon, looks nice and tight. It doesn't drift out wide, but looks like he got a really good exit as well. He's up a 10th now, going into the next corner complex here with the mid-speed right-lefter. Up 2/10 now. Good exit. Bit late on the upshift according to me. He has lost the time through that corner, but now it's the long straight. You need to be flat through here, otherwise you lose too much time. Is he flat?
Oh, no, yeah, you tried.
But it still goes wide.
He tried.
He still got pole for yeah, he still got pole for the AM class, so good job by David Chang. I think that's his first class pole.
Yeah, and if it is, a massive congratulations, especially considering that we just changed to a new BOP and physics model. Certainly not a small feat at all. I'm trying to see what car that is in the pro class that's I believe it's Daniel Wright out in front. Yep, just starts his flyer here. One thing we've noticed here with the tires taking a bit longer to get up into their operating ranges is your first flyer isn't necessarily going to be your best lap anymore. Now, Spa is a bit of an exception just with it being a longer track. There's a bit more time to get those tires into their ideal ranges, but we'll see what kind of times come out of Daniel Wright as he goes up a Rouge around Radion right now, and now onto the Camel Straight, and it looks like he's got company right behind him.
Matty Byrne being quite close. One thing that is worth mentioning here that I can definitely see on Daniel Wright's top speed is that he's running a lot of wing. Yes, it is a stable car. Yes, it might get him pole, but he is gonna struggle when he's towing someone if he's running a lot of wing on this track, because the straights are so long. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how everything pans out in the race, because lots of wing. You give up a lot of top line speed, especially through the long straight, where Blanchimont is a part of.
Let's see, who's number 108? Is he out in... That is going to be Andrew Jackson
108.
in the Bentley out in front. And that's going to be... That must be our last AM to come across the line, maybe?
I don't think
No, I don't think so,
AM.
no. That's a name I don't recognize.
Is Chang out driving again? He is.
Uh-oh.
He has not gone back to the pits, he should. Oh, I'm confused. He's 1 minute and 50 seconds into this lap. I'm confused. What's going on? Why
Somebody
is he still out?
Somebody may not have given him the memo. Well, hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully nothing bad comes of it.
Yeah. I don't want to type in chat either because that tends to distract
Ruin
people.
everything.
I don't
Yep.
want to do that. Yep.
Daniel Wright coming across the line right now. We're going to get our idea of our first pro time, and yeah, sure enough, it is
2.
quick. Sets a 2:18.2. That is going to be tough to beat. Matty Burns coming across the line right behind him with a 2:19.3. David Chang still in the running for a podium start, but
Yeah.
we'll see what the rest of the pros do here.
I want to mention that we have had a battle between Tommy Cogan and Daniel Wright for the entire season up until now. But as I mentioned before, the Porsche got hit really hard in the BOP changes, while the McLaren got way better. And we can kind of see that on the times, although it's still just the first runs. Cogan is 1.4 seconds behind Wright after the first run. That is
Oh,
a
and we
big
watched
difference.
Andre lose it in our Rouge there. That poor BMW M6 there getting beat up on the front. That is going to be a massive knock to his ability to qualify well.
I sadly saw a lot of spins by him in a Rouge, and for some reason, the M6 is incredibly unstable there. But the M4, the new car in the game, is the most stable thing that has ever been created on God's earth.
Yeah,
from what I've noticed.
If ever you were starting this game and you wanted to drive Spa and want to put no effort into learning how to drive cars correctly in this game, drive the M4 here. It is as effortless of a car to get up and around a Rouge as there is. It's ridiculous. It almost doesn't make sense.
Oh, I just noticed, X. Yeah, my condolences that the wheel is broken. That sucks, especially when you put in a lot of practice into Spa. But hopefully we get to see you next week.
Godspeed, fellow Fanatec user.
I think everyone uses Fanatec.
It's either them or Thrustmaster. I know a couple of the weirdos who use Thrustmaster wheels, and they are weirdos.
I've seen a SimCube guy.
Currently watching Tommy Cogan as he's making his way around the track, coming into the bus stop chicane here. Not going to post a massive improvement, but if he can hang on to the Delta, he will move himself up a couple of positions, which will certainly be good there. Great exit out of the bus stop. Oh, got a little bit loose there on the throttle, but still going to see an improvement. Bumps him up into third place right now.
Still 1.2 seconds behind Wright.
Boxes.
It's gonna be tough.
Oh, Matty Byrne takes it right away from him. Now in third place. Or was that Alessio Melise moving up into second place?
yeah.
That's what it was.
It was the Ferrari of Melise that got him. Wright is currently 1/10 up, going down the Camel Straight.
Still being chased down by Matty Byrne.
Yeah, but the gap is considerably bigger than it was before.
That is true. Throw out another feeler out into the chat there. So this week, actually, if you've not noticed, we because of the performance changes that came with this update, because Kunos was kind enough to integrate FSR into the graphics engine, we can actually run this at 60 frames while I'm streaming it now. So hopefully it looks a whole bunch cleaner out there. I'm watching the stream over on another monitor, and it looks like it's coming through okay. If you notice any stutters, let me know. I'm still trying to fine-tune the settings a little bit, try and get things to look as crisp for y'all as I can. Daniel Wright now 4/10 up in the Delta, but what's more impressive is actually Alessio Melise here is 8/10, almost 9/10 and
now
growing.
A second
now,
up.
Now a second, my goodness. That
Yep,
Ferrari is
Ferrari
just chewing up the track.
Extremely fast here. But now the thing is, he needs to, as I mentioned before, the most important corner of this entire track is Savalo, which is the last corner before the back straight. Because if you screw that corner up, you're doomed. Because you're gonna be losing time for pretty much all of it, and he keeps it in.
Oh, he hung on to it.
Okay, this is gonna be a banger of a time.
It's very likely to, and I mean, unless Daniel Wright invalidates here, I don't think it'll be enough. If Wright hangs on to the lap time, so he does. He sets a 2:17.9, which is almost unbelievable. Let's see what Alessio comes across with right now. 1.2 seconds up on the Delta. Get a good exit. Get a good exit. Plant it. Go.
It was way too bad. It was a bad second exit.
Oh, still enough to move him up into second place with a 2:18.1. Pretty good time. Again, Chad, I'm going to throw this out here because I neglected to do so last week. I was streaming, but we do have Pit Wall up and running if you want to be watching these timings in real time along with us. Go ahead and click on that link right there. That'll get you over there. It's got the pretty map and all the timings you can keep an eye on. Tommy Kogan making his way up the Camel Straight. Desperately trying to find as much time as he can. I think that the new Porsche BOP might just be screwing him a little bit here, but we're now gonna see the max wait time alert come up here, which means this is his last opportunity to try and get a good lap in, and he is peeling some Delta away. Niall Drake as well.
I also want to mention here that Rico Dyson has put himself in 5th now.
With a 2:19.4, that is also a very respectable lap time.
Yeah. But we have how many AMs? 3 AMs in the top 10.
Yep, which we love to see here. And they've and of the AMs that are up there, they're certainly earning that top 10 right now.
And Rico invalidates his lap by going wide into no name, so he is done. Looks like Alessio Melis is also done. And
Niall Drake crosses the line with no improvement. Now we're watching Ice Tin working his way around no name.
Doesn't look like Wright is gonna improve either. He's 3/10 down going into Blanchimont. So I think that he's gonna keep pole unless Tommy Kogan is 3/10 up, but he is no. He is also on an invalid lap, so I think we have our grid set here, at least for the top 5.
Ice Tin being the last one to try and make an improvement here, working his way through Sector 2 right now. Currently pretty much deadlocked with his best lap here. We'll see if he's able to squeeze any time out here as he gets into Sector 3.
A bit too much curb there on the inside. And then flat. But he runs that curb too hard. He's going to lose a lot of speed. And he's going to lose time down the entire straight now. That is the curse of that corner. If you screw it up, you're losing tenths down the straight.
Yeah, it's a rough one to mess up. And yeah, once you're on this part of the track, if you mess it up, you're stuck with it. And you're just going to watch that Delta go away. Into the bus stop chicane. Last chance to save a little bit of time here. Let's see if he's able to pull off a miracle. And it does not look like it's meant to be. He is going to cross the line without posting improvement, and that is going to be our starting grid. Daniel Wright, Alessio Melis, and Tommy Kogan being our podium starters, followed by Matty Byrne, our Dyson, David Chang, Gabriel Ingersoll, our newcomer, Ice Tin, who we just watched finish up, A. Hasselbrock, and M. Jones in the Honda to round out our top 10. Any predictions on how this race is going to go?
Well, I think the start is going to be very important here. If Wright gets a good start and doesn't tow Melis too much, I think he might win the race coming into the Lacombe section of the track, which is the right-hander after the Camel Straight. But if he gets a bad start and Alessio Melis managed to tuck in close behind Wright because it looked like he was running with a lot of wing, we might have a new leader coming out of the Lacombe section.
You know, I just noticed something as I'm flashing the leaderboard for the stream to see here. Take a look at the top 10. Do you notice something about the cars that make up the top 10?
As I mentioned, the McLaren has gotten buffed while all its competitors has gotten nerfed. And that is despite the dominant car in SRO being the McLaren. So, yeah, I don't really know what Kunos was thinking with that. And it looks like, at least in this league, that it is the car to beat at this point. But as soon as the M4 gets introduced, that is the car to beat, together with the Mercedes.
Yeah,
to me.
that M4 is something to behold. What a machine. I don't care if it's broken. I love the real world car, the actual thing. It's that I could go and touch, and it's nice that it's as broken as it is right now. I don't care what they did to the front grill. I know it's ugly, but it's still.
Yeah, being an Alfa Romeo guy myself, BMWs they're basically the biggest competitor on the sports sedan side. So can never rep the road cars, but if you don't take advantage of how OP the M4 is at the moment, you're just making a mistake, honestly. So right. What is your prediction then for the
It's for
the race?
I don't know if I want to make a prediction for the whole race, because if I'm being completely honest here, and that's not to, and this is breaking commentator code, because I definitely don't want to be playing favorites. I'm going to be watching the battle in the AMs. I want to see Eric Chang and who is the other one he's competing with?
Pop Dog.
Yeah, Pop Dog. I want to. That's probably where my attention is going to be spent, because so much rides on it. That is the AM championship right there, essentially, as far as the points are concerned. And this is going to be a very important race for both of these drivers. Eric Chang getting in the valid qualifying lap does set him up for success here, as Pop Dog has quite a bit of work to do before he can even get within striking distance of Eric Chang. But it is Spa, and anything can happen at Spa.
Oh yeah, especially since there's so many high-speed corners where if you make one mistake, you are bummed for the rest of the race, probably. If you don't crash, your tires are dead. So you have to be careful, but still be brave, because you lose too much speed if you start lifting through it, especially a Rouge or whatever it was called, the final corner. Now completely lost the final
bus
corner
stop
before
chicane.
the back straight. No, the final corner before the back straight. Stablo. That's it.
Yep.
So another the real overtaking spots into this track is, of course, off the Camel Straight, because it's a long straight and heavy braking zone, into the hairpin, which is right after the Lacombe section. I'd say that it's possible to overtake into the bus stop, but usually it's quite able to get a position back if both people are fair, because if you have the outside going in, you'll have the inside going out of it, so it could be a bit hard to actually overtake there, unless the guy ahead of you is just closing the door on you completely on the inside. But of course, Los O's, the first corner, is also a very popular overtaking spot, so look for those positions on the track if you want to see overtaking today.
Yep, that's definitely where our eyes are going to be anytime we see something spicy happening around those parts of the track. We have
worth mentioning. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's all you.
One thing that is worth mentioning here also is that compared to what it was before, the brake bias in general has been moved forwards quite a bit on most cars, except for one I've noticed, Alessio Melis, who is running 47. That is as far rearwards as you can on the Ferrari. So he is basically counting on his braking to do all the rotation on his car, and not really abusing the normal rotation that the Ferrari has. So that's interesting.
That's interesting,
and I'm expecting him to also run a lot of wing.
It seems dangerous. Yeah, he would have to if he has any expectation of not turning his rear tires into squares.
Exactly. Another car that is probably going to be really racy here is the Aston. They've reworked the turbo a bit, so it has more grunt on the straights than before.
Do we have any Astons on the grid? today?
Yeah, fifth place.
Oh, yeah. Yep, sure enough.
Rico Dyson.
Yep.
So he's also in a good spot, and he has a Porsche ahead of him who is struggling hard on the straights now. They are not fast on the straights.
And we have picked the longest possible track to have a rolling start here. We're just now entering Sector 3 of this track. Pretty soon here we're going to see them lining up double file, and we'll get this race on its way.
The one thing that is also worth mentioning now when you said that it's a long track, it's hard to get the tire temps like there on this track.
Yep.
Because of course you can run on the brakes for the entire lap and have the tire pressures, but then your brakes are really hot instead, and like too hot. So it's gonna be interesting to see how everything pans out now at race starts. I see a lot of people wiggling back and forth. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really think that does anything in these cars, because all the heat that you generate is mostly from the brakes here on the rolling starts.
That's very true. I'm gonna do something, chat. I'm gonna do something I don't normally do, but just because there is so much of a likelihood of something exciting happening in a Rouge, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just give us a permanent camera up there if it'll let me move it. There we go. So, hope I don't make anybody too motion sick, but let's go ahead and go over here, and we're gonna ignore a little bit of the race start and just kind of watch what happens here.
It's very, very interesting here because I haven't seen how well made everything around the track is. You take it up on the inside curve, something like that.
Yeah, something
inside
like
curve.
right about right here should work. And we're gonna hang out here for a little bit, folks. Race will be on. We'll get to see the race start because they loop around to this side of the track before the green lights.
Okay.
Go.
Would you mind moving it a bit more to the left and backwards?
Yeah.
So where where the house is.
Yep.
Kind of.
We'll just go ahead right over about there. Actually, no, because we want to see the top of the hill too, huh?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant.
There we go. Any action that's going to happen is either going to happen right in front of us or just behind us.
Yep, this is looking great.
Yep, this will be the
they've
spot.
Started to make their way down now.
Yep, and we can see the cars there out in the distance. We're going to see the green light. There we go. And we can see them. We can hear them thundering down the straight up into a Rouge. Here we go.
Tommy got a really good start. He got past Alessio Melis instantly, and he's in the toe.
Oh, and there's already action. Eric Chang gets punted off to the outside of Radion there. And it looks, is he the only one? Oh, that is an unfortunate start for Eric Chang. Pop Dog just got very lucky in that battle for AM start. But as we come down the Camel Straight into Lacombe, looking like things are staying relatively tidy. One car goes off wide into the runoff there.
David Chang going really wide there.
Risky rejoin there, but manages to do it without hitting anybody. Let's hop a couple cars back in the lineup here just so we can see everything that's going on. Throw it up into the helicam. Try and get a wider angle here.
Also, Alessio Melis lost 2 positions on the going up the Camel Straight, so that's really sad.
Yeah, and Tommy Kogan getting the better of that exchange, working his way from third up into second, using that good start that he got right off the line like you were saying. Daniel Wright more or less pulling away. Let's take a look in the back here. We're going to hop on with Niall Drake. Doesn't look to have very many people behind him. It's because the leaderboards haven't updated yet, so we're all over the place. How about Sam? There we go, right in the middle of the action here.
I wonder what happened there with Eric Chang. I'm going to go into the replay and have a look.
He got kind of punted coming up a Rouge, just got a little bit of a bump, and the way that part of the track is, that's all it takes.
Gonna see exactly what happened here and what cars were involved.
Oh, here we go. Now we got a little bit of action unfolding here. Who is that is the AMG behind
that
him there.
Was him not really staying on his side of the road, moving over and basically driving into Niall's side from what I could see. So yeah.
Oh, and Thomas Castiani gets shunted off into the runoff. Oh no, and gets collected by a BMW. Jeff Fleischman also on the outside of the track. That is a big crash for the start of this race.
Fleischman got punted in the rear by Yashki. I think that's how you should pronounce that name at least, in the Bentley. And we have 2 massive incidents there going through Blanchimont. And now we have people going into the pits for repairs. But what happened here? who gained positions out of this?
We'll know just as soon as they cross the first sector line at the end of the Camel Straight. That's going to be the first opportunity to see that update as we get on to our second lap, watching Melon Pitch work his way up a Rouge there in the Nissan. And he's going to get a very good tow from that Lexus out in front of M. LeBron.
Eric Chang is up to 22nd, and yeah, but he has damage. He has damage on this front of the car. Cars ahead of him is... oh, what is happening there? Why is 15th? What's happening to him?
What's going on?
The man with the Italian surname had a very interesting... It was very slow in the Camel Straight. I'm a bit confused what actually happened when Adam Thompson goes back past Eric Chang. But Eric Chang looks like he gets a run. Is he going to try to send it up the inside? He does.
Oh, and he does get it.
Yeah, the problem is that the aero damage that Eric Chang has on the straights is going to be a big issue here for Thompson. Or no, an issue for him because this Ferrari is very speedy on the straights. But the longer... Oh, we have Alan Sue spinning out.
Oh, and
going
he's
into P1.
Yep, out on the outside of the double left-hander, waiting for his turn to get back out on the track. We're going to see the 108 car Bentley go around, and there he goes back out on the track.
So now Eric Chang is chasing down the Italian Mercedes and Robinson.
Right now, currently, I'm watching Gabriel Ingersoll, our newcomer right now, trying to track down, I think it's, yeah, Aiden Hasselbrock. So battle of McLarens here. We've got our newcomer as they go into the bus stop chicane here. Looks like, ooh, Aiden's gonna overcook it, trying to get through the bus stop there. And that is gonna make for an easy pass for our newcomer, Gabriel. Oh no, and Sam Carsala gets spun around on the bus stop. Manages to get it flipped around just in time. Is he gonna be able to get back on the track? He does make his way back out onto the track, but an unfortunate early spin. That is gonna not be great for those tires going forward.
Nope. And one thing that is worth mentioning is that the tire model has changed a bit, so you aren't as race ruined as before if you spin. When Robinson goes deep and Eric Chang gets a position, so it's up to 21st. But
we got a car facing the wrong way around
now. Where?
Number 55 at the top of a Rouge was facing the wrong direction. No, that's Tommy Kogan.
No, okay, that's not good for him and his title hopes. Him dropping back. He doesn't have any damage, but no, yes, he has damage.
Yes, he does. The front of that
damage.
That is not good for Tommy Kogan.
And he's in a title fight with Daniel Wright, so that is not good for him as well, for the pro. And Eric Chang goes a bit wide there, going into Lecombe, and has to take evasive action from Tommy Kogan and but it looks like Big Bark Sam Carsala is having issues again in Lecombes.
Yeah,
how much damage does he have?
It's tough to say, but
his diffuser looks mighty scratched up, so it doesn't look good for him at this point.
Maybe seeing some early pit stops here, folks, and this is not the track that you want to have those happening on.
No, you do not want to pit here. You should just try to stick out unless you're completely ruined, because the pit lane is, I think it's 70% of the lap for a drive-through, and then it's not even talking about doing the repairs. Stick out until the pit window ends, so you don't have another, what is it, like 90 seconds added to your time?
It's ridiculous. But Fred, you're going to want to watch this battle unfolding between David Chang and Melon Pitch right now as they're charging down Blanchimont right now. Too wide coming around that corner. A McLaren and a Nissan as they're racing more or less nose to nose.
Turbo brake gets the lead.
And then Nissan gets out in front of the McLaren. Let's see if he's going to try anything risky here in the bus stop chicane. Looks like he thinks better of it. It might try something coming here. There's a great and kind of a ballsy overtake there from Melon Pitch, but he makes it happen.
Yeah, Nissan
up.
is also... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say he's now in the top 10 for Melon Pitch.
Yep. Nissan is one of the cars that...
oh no, and who is that sideways? That's Alessio Melise with his nose facing the inside of turn 1. We've got more upset.
What happened there?
Yeah, I'd definitely be curious to know what happened there if you don't mind hopping back into the replays.
Dyson is parked in the grass in a rouge.
Oh, we're about to see that. Yeah, there we go. Off to the left-hand side of the screen there, folks. We've got another car parked in the off track there. That is a rough spot to try and get back on the track. But it looks like we have a 2-wide race down the Camel Straight, and the leaderboards have it all messed up, so I can't see who's supposed to be there.
Oh, there's a big pack of cars now, a big train, a big tow train going down the Camel Straits. It's very interesting. I think that was Adam Thompson going really wide into the Lacombe section. So now he's back up and fighting with Fleischmann all of a sudden. While Sam Carosella is honing in on Eric Chang, but it looks like that Italian Mercedes got past Sam Carosella there. Wait, I'm a bit confused here. What's actually going on here? Okay, now I understand what's going on. Yes. So Pop Dog is in 14th and Eric Chang is in 17th, so they're getting closer to each other.
Okay. Man, and Sam is just sandwiched between a whole bunch of cars going on right now. He's got an Audi and a Ferrari behind him, both of them giving him the blinkers. And it looks like Brett is that I want to say Cortuccio.
Yeah, that's probably how you pronounce it, yeah.
Yeah, and that's our Mercedes
really
driver
long.
out in front of the Porsche we're watching right now. There we go, the standings are starting to update.
Yeah, now we're coming into where the Mercedes is strong, the straights. The big 6.2 liters naturally aspirated V8 just powering it down the straight line, and it's up to 250 kph before hitting the rev limit. But he lifts going into Bonchimo. That's going to lose him a lot of time, and maybe Sam Carosella can get up close now. He wasn't close enough.
Not close enough for a move this lap, but that gap is, I mean, the smaller the gap gets, the more likely we are to see some action here. We're going to follow this train up until we get around a Rouge here, because we are pretty close, still pretty tight pack here, for considering that we're, what, 4 laps into this race?
Wait. What happened? Pop Dog has dropped down to 21st.
When did that happen?
According to my timings, Pop Dog is in 21st. I missed that completely.
Yeah, and Eric Chang in 15th. Again, that's the battle for the AM podium that we're talking about, these two drivers.
Win.
The AM win. Got another yellow flag approaching a Rouge right now, 999, Andre Afonso.
Yeah, it's that BMW. It's having issues with the stability on the rear. Also want to mention, we have an AM driver on the overall podium right now, with our Australian Ingersoll being in 3rd right now and actually chasing down Byrne, doing better lap times by 6/10 last lap. So he's doing an amazing job with his race pace at the moment.
I have a pretty strong feeling they're not going to be an M for very long if they continue to perform like this, because that is remarkable.
That is very good. Very good.
Where is Tommy Kogan? Just looking at our top 10. Oh, and there's he's in 14th, and I just saw, who was that was sideways there that we were just seeing?
I do not know.
I can't even keep track of them all. There's a lot of people. It seems that the new tire model is really throwing people for a loop here.
Yep, it looks like Dyson has retired from the race. So
that is too
our
bad.
only running Aston is not running anymore. Oh, Kurchuko going wide, and that might give Sam Carosella the run now going onto the back straights. He is in the toe of the Mercedes. Does he have enough power though? We know that the Porsche is lacking straight line speed, and the Merc has all of it. But is the toe going to be enough to make him get the position going into the bus stop?
Oh, I don't think he needs it to, because that AMG is going to slide on the outside, collects himself on the inside wall. That is going to be a punishing mistake for the Mercedes driver there. Hopefully they're able to, hopefully it was a lucky bounce off that wall and it's just a little front aero damage, but that looked rough.
Yep, that looked like a big one. Kogan is up to 13th now, and he's chasing down Niall Drake at the moment.
All right, we're hopping forward up into the grid into the 4th place with Ice Tin. We caught a little bit of it there. 3 cars trying to go up Rouge at the same time, and actually just behind him, Mike Jones getting chased down by Matty Byrne as they're gonna go into Lacombe here, side by side into the braking zone, and it looks like Mike Jones filters in behind Matty Byrne there. And we'll see if he's gonna...
Byrne was running second, so something must have happened at the end of last lap.
That was the car that got spun around I was talking about. So he's recovered from that spin, and now he's back into the running.
My bad, I missed that.
We've got another yellow flag in Lacombe, the number 36 car, it looks like. Is there contact? No contact there. May have just lost control of the car.
36
Oh, and Matty Byrne runs wide at the exit of the hairpin and is now stopped on the side of the track. That is going to be a teleport back to the pits.
Yep, he's done there.
I believe that is a retirement.
Yeah, and he left the server as well. Wonder what happened. Another nice touch that they've done to this game is that they have added a purple lap time for the one who is on the fastest lap of the race. Which is
currently held by Daniel Wright.
Yep, which is a very nice thing. One thing worth mentioning is that LeBron is up to 6th, driving a very solid race in his Lexus.
We're watching Tommy Kogan on the stream right now, working his way up the grid, currently in 10th place according to the standings here.
Yep,
which is up from 14th or lower.
Wide. I think that's going to give a position right behind Kogan to Niall Drake, and if he gets by McNeil. It's not 100% certain yet because the new tire models is not helping out people who are driving with the controllers. Which Niall is. Niall is right up to the rear of...
Oh, is he going to try it? He's going to try it. Late into the braking zone, into the bus stop chicane, and he does get the move on the inside. Let's see if he's able to hold on to it going up the old start-finish straight, and he does. And he is
very
going
much does. Good move. Solid move. Adam Thompson is actually running a very solid race right now. Did a 22.6 last lap and is up to 16th, which is a very good position compared to what he's been running before, so good on him.
Yep, that Ferrari making his job real easy. We know it's a good car at this track, but still a remarkable performance considering we've seen plenty of other people not survive this long without an incident. So Adam Thompson doing a great job of making that Ferrari work for him.
One thing that is worth mentioning now is that Hasselbrock has gotten really close.
Oh my goodness, we're about to... Oh, we might have 3 cars going through Lacombe here, side by side. Sam Carsala on the inside, Eric Chang out in front. And we see, is that Cody Barrett? Tries a lunge on the outside of Sam, doesn't make it stick. Sam gets the better of the exchange there. Now he's going to come around the hill, and we see a car spin around in the back. Was that Liam that I just saw spin around?
No, it's Adam Thompson.
No, that was Adam Thompson. Gets the commentator's curse. I just had to go and compliment his driving. And he went and spun the Ferrari.
So now, and he almost collects Alan Sue going back onto the track. Jesus, that was really close.
Just missed it on stream. Let's hop back up in front. Let's see. No, the battle we were watching between Eric Chang and Sam Carsala has spaced out a little bit just in those couple of corners. We'll see if they tighten it back up. But another battle to watch.
Battle for second. Battle for second. Hasselbrock has got a really good run on Ingersoll here, going into the bus stop soon. They're gonna be really close, but maybe not close enough. Doesn't look like it's close enough. But this battle, we have to follow this because they're really close. Yeah, this battle's gonna go on all the way up the camera straight as well. So this is something worth watching. This is for the overall podium, the second place battle at the moment, whilst Daniel Wright is running away with it at the moment.
Let's see.
Going through Les Sauce and. He goes onto the curb there, Hasselbrock. He was too early on throttle, but he's still in the toe of Ingersoll. So basically what needs to happen here is that Hasselbrock can't let off going into Rouge, which he kind of does.
A lift out of Gabriel.
Yeah, I think that has to be it.
I heard the engine note change. Oh, and he's going to have a run on the outside. It is going to be close. He is in striking distance for the turn here. And he's going to shoot up the inside. Is it too much speed? Oh no, and there's contact!
Contact!
Gabriel Ingersoll collecting the backside of Aiden there after that move on the inside. Ooh, I don't know about
Ingersoll, one thing worth mentioning there was that Ingersoll is running a lot less wing than Hasselbrock was, and that you could really see it on the straight there.
Oh, Hasselbrock picks the worst time to try and get himself righted on the track. Almost hits Melon Pitch, who has to dive to the inside runoff there. Manages to do it without incident.
And now he's fighting Alessio Melis going into one of the overtaking spots. Is Melis going to send it up the inside?
Oh, and just as I change the camera, we watch a McLaren spin himself around in Lacombe.
Who was that?
636. That is going to be David Chang, who we were watching earlier, was putting on quite the performance there.
He had such a good qualifying. What's happened?
Oh, he's got a lot of damage on the front of that McLaren. That is almost certainly contributing to it. But Aiden Hasselbrock managed to get himself back out on the track and is now being chased down by another name who we saw up in the front not long ago, Alessio Melis in the Ferrari behind him now.
Yeah, Melis is starting to find some pace here, putting in his fastest lap last lap. He's moved the brake bias to 55%, so perhaps figuring out that the whatever he was running earlier was not going to work for him after he had that spin going into turn 1. But yeah, the Ferrari is the faster car on the straight. We'll see how long it takes for Melis to get it up the rear on Hasselbrock.
Taking a look back at the battle between Sam Carsala and Eric Chang actually is now becoming a battle for 11th. Liam McNeil got a little bit loose on the outside of the turn before the straightaway we're on right now, and that let Eric Chang cinch up on him. I don't think he'll be in striking distance by the bus stop, but we'll certainly see some action on the Camel Straight if they keep the spacing this tight.
Yep.
Oh, Eric's gonna try something maybe? Oh no!
Oh, that's a bad move. Really bad move. Really bad move.
Ooh, that is a... that was not good.
That is a bad move. That's a desperation move if I've ever seen one. That's not good. That is a report in my eyes. And
I'm not sure. I would have to watch the replay. It looked like Liam maybe had the idea to try and close the door there once Eric was already executing his move. So there please look, because that looked pretty rough from the cameras there.
I did not like the look of it. I'm gonna look at both cars' perspective, and I'll get back to you when I've seen what happened.
Yeah, I know it's Camel Straight, but I'm American and I'm stupid. I also get people's names wrong, and I drive on the wrong side of the car. Let's take a look for a battle
Eric Chang being very late on the brake. I don't think he would have made the corner, if I'm honest. But I'll see what McNeil's inputs are. But McNeil is very much moving on the braking as well. But I don't think Eric would have made the corner, but McNeil was moving on the braking as well. So I don't know. It's a tough one, but we're also hearing from the chat, maybe it looked like there was some lag there. Might have net coded into somebody.
No, we drive on the... Yeah, no, you do drive on the right side. I said I drive on the wrong side. The incorrect side. But it's also the correct side, because you guys are backwards and weird. What was I saying? Yeah, Melon Pitch was having a bit of an interesting exchange with a blue flag car there.
And he's up to 6th in the Nissan. The turbo brick coming through. Glorious Nippon steel, if I've ever seen it.
Well, I'm pretty sure soon here, he's going to have a very fast Ferrari looking to get around him. Alessio Melis has worked his way back up the grid into 7th place now, down from below the top 10. And he's going to be right on Melon Pitch's bumper here pretty soon.
Adam Thompson fighting hard now with Robinson and Sue. Also, it's a good battle going on there. Pop Dog is right now in 20th, running a very lonely race at this point.
I did say I was American. American cars are left-hand drive. I'm very confused by this whole conversation. I'm gonna assume that I'm the idiot here, because it's like universally the case. So say whatever you want about me in chat. It's just usually how it goes. But we're gonna watch Melon Pitch and Alessio Melis as they charge down the straight here into a Rouge. I don't think he's close enough to try anything, but that Ferrari is quick. Might be able to get Melon Pitch on the Camel Straight if Melon lifts there. And actually, I think he had to have, because that Ferrari's a lot closer now. Oh, but the right side of the road. I was talking about the left side of the cockpit. Anyways, yeah, he is going to have him by the end of the Camel Straight. Is he going to try something? He is going to do it. I think Melon may have let that happen, recognizing the name there, but he's still pushing him pretty hard coming around Lacombe. And we might even still have action in the hairpin here because they are right on top of one another as they charge down the hill.
And that should be also a good run for Melon, but Alessio being smart and taking the inside line and basically not allowing Melon to go down the inside. So good job by Melly.
Thomas Castiani chiming up in chat. The mechanics were not happy when you got the McLaren back to the garage. Yeah, I can only imagine. That one, that was rough to watch, buddy. But the battle rages on between Alessio Mali and Melon Pitch here. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the onboard cam, looking back at that Nissan. Let's see if they're going to try something here. Although I do think that it is advantage Ferrari in this section of the track. We'll see what happens here.
So we actually have some variables that we need to mention here, because Eric Chang has quite a bit of damage on his car from what I can see. I'm expecting at least 10 seconds of damage, judging that his hood is flopping around a little bit. So, if he does the repair time, where would that feed him out? And will Pop Dog be in striking distance then?
Well, Pop Dog's in the pits right now. So that, although we are in the pit window, we are in the pit. Oh my God, it's already been 24 minutes. Oh, anyways, that happened fast. So yeah, we are in the pit window, which is gonna make it kind of difficult to make any actual predictions here. But
Alessio Melis is also in the pits here. Let's see if we have any stop-go 30s this time, because if you get a stop-go 30 here, you are dead lost.
Yeah, your race is over if you get any kind of grid or any kind of pit penalty here. But looking at Eric Chang's lap times, his best for the race is a 2:22.8, and his last lap there was a 2:23.9, almost a 2:24. And I'm not sure if that's, I mean, certainly the aero's got to be playing a factor in that, but with 35 minutes left in the race, is it worth the potential, 30 to 40 second penalty just to repair that damage?
It all depends on how much it is, though, and does he feel like he's going to gain that time back with a complete car, basically?
Yeah.
But because he only got up to 258 on the straight. 258 kph is about 9 kph slower than what he usually does. So he's losing 10 kph per long straight, and that is a lot of time. So I don't know. I can't answer since I don't know how much damage is on right now.
Yeah, it's really tough to tell. Let's see, is that what I think? Am I seeing this wrong? Yeah, I was seeing that wrong. I saw a car right behind Daniel Wright, and I thought maybe perhaps that was Gabriel Ingersoll. That is not the case, but we've got, oh my goodness, what a time to pull up the camera. We just watched Sam blow past that McLaren. Not sure what happened there, but we're gonna watch another McLaren try it on the, or no, it's the Honda, tries it on the inside, pushes Gabriel out wide, and we just watched Gabriel go from second to fifth, and now sixth. What is going on here? Oh, look at the front of his McLaren. What happened to that car?
I'm gonna have a look. Wait a minute.
Yeah, and he's gonna dive into the pits to fix that because the front bumper's hanging off of the car.
I'm gonna have a look at it. Give me a second. What car number is he real quick?
14.
14, thank you. Gonna see what happened.
Whatever it was, we just missed it on stream.
Has the damage. Okay. Oh no, that's back marker issues. Wonder what car that was.
Oh no.
What car? It was a. Oh wait. Wait. Okay. Who was that again? Car. I can't see what car number that is. Aiden Hasselbrock, and yeah, that is so unfortunate. And it's basically, so what has happened is that Hasselbrock has just left the pits and come out onto the racing line when Ingersoll comes up, and then Hasselbrock is going to try to move over to the right side of the track to let him by, but Ingersoll does it at the exact same time. So Ingersoll rams Hasselbrook from behind.
That is
And
unfortunate.
caused us a lot of damage. But now it looks like Eric Chang and looks like Adam Thompson is also in the pits, and they're right behind each other.
Are they leaving the pits right now? Or no, they're entering the pits.
No,
Okay,
they're going into the pits.
so we got quite the
very
cluster of
interesting.
cars somewhere over on the side. I'm trying to find a car number so we can take a look at it over here. But we got quite the pile up here, or not pile up, but just a whole bunch of people grouped together here as we're watching them get ready to take Blanchimont. Trying to get the car who's out in front, number 51. That's gonna be Sam Carsala in the Pink Pig Porsche. And who is that out in front of him? That's Ice Tin out in front of him.
Yep, Iceland is driving a great race right now. Up to second. It's a good result for him.
Yep, Ice Tin gonna go into the pits, so is the number 137 car. That is going to let Sam get past there. And he's already served his pit stops. That's good for him.
I'm gonna keep a look and see if Eric is repairing. There goes Thompson, finished with his pit stop. Eric is still standing still, so he's probably fixing damage. And there, Thompson passes Eric. Where is Pop Dog? That is the question. Where is Pop Dog? Pop Dog is pretty much in Blanchimont right now.
Yep.
Yeah, Eric's still in the pit, still repairing, Wonder how much damage he finished with.
And Pop Dog has served his pit stop. So that is gonna mean that Eric Chang has to leave on cold tires going up the hill. And at this point, that almost certainly means that Pop Dog is going to have him by the end of the Kemmel Straight.
Yeah, there
he goes. Okay, he's moving.
It's gonna be very close there.
Oh, this is way too
Where's
exciting.
Pop Dog?
I think that's Eric Chang in front. Pop Dog didn't make it around in time. And even with that damage, he is going to get out well in front of Pop Dog and start working his way down the Kemmel Straight. I think he played that perfectly.
Yeah, and next he has a big gap of cars, so it's not really a big gap. He has some cars that is on the lead lap from him, ahead of him. But yeah, that is a very, very long repair time. I gotta say.
Almost a minute.
Yeah.
If not long, I mean, I had to have been.
Yeah.
But that is going to mean that he should have a pretty significant pace improvement based on what his pace was looking like with the damage.
You're at the halfway mark.
Yeah, we'll
and
see.
that's the halfway mark there, folks.
Okay, people to Jet have been in the pit. Daniel Wright's in the pit, worth mentioning. But LeBron up to second place before the pit stop, so he's also driving a really good race here with his best race lap in a 2:20.6, which is very solid, especially in the Lexus.
Especially in the Lexus. Considering you can't see out of the left side of the car.
Considering that it's running on 3 years old tire data.
That also. Let's see, Adam Thompson is getting a little bit of action right now. I saw him and who was that? Melon Pitch working their way around the bus stop chicane, and just as soon as it began, it is over because Melon Pitch is going and serving his mandatory pit. Gonna get that one out of the way right now. We got Daniel Wright, Mike LeBron, and Melon Pitch, all in the pits. 3 cars remaining that still need to serve their mandatory pit stops. Cody Barrett, Alan Zhu, and Justin Robinson.
Yep.
And Adam is going to spin it, going up a Rouge. Oh, and almost collects Jeff Fleischman leaving the pits.
Oh, that's a lot of damage also on the rear end of Adam Thompson. That's not good for him. He's been running such a solid race up until now.
Yeah,
that's so sad.
The Ferrari does not like rear aero damage at all. So let's see how he does coming up into Lacombe. Actually, looks like he's
squirmy.
No, it doesn't look too unruly. The next really big telling one is going to be 2 turns away from here, going around the double left. Ooh. Looks like he's got a...
Chang is much faster on the straights now, so it was definitely worth repairing. Just wanted to check that.
Yep, good.
Okay.
We're just hanging out
So
with Adam
Cody
here for a
Barrett
second. I just want to. I just really want to see what happens when he comes around the left-hander, because if he's got rear arrow, this is where we're gonna see it. That still looks pretty under control there for him. So he may be okay.
Yeah,
he
not
might have
too
gotten
bad.
lucky.
Yep. Yeah, and it's a 20-second gap to Eric Chang, so that's a big gap for Eric to close in. We'll see what happens. But we haven't seen any drive-thrus yet. They could be coming. They could be coming.
It's only a matter of time, but I think most people by now know that this is just not the track that you play with track limits on. A, because there's not a ton to be gained, say, compared to a track like Misano. But yeah, especially with how brutal the pit penalties can be here, just not something you want to gamble with.
And Alessio Melis gets past Mellon pitch after the pit stop. Mellon actually came out ahead, but Alessio had the speed coming up Rouge whilst Mellon was leaving the pits. So yeah, it was an easy move for Alessio there, and he's also now on way hotter tires, so he's doing a good job. What else can we find around here? Easton and Mike Jones are still fighting. Easton looks like he dropped back a bit after the pit stop, so perhaps something happened there.
Oh, I just watched. Who was that just went way wide off of the double left-hander there?
That was Alexandre Afonso, who has had some issues today. Keeps struggling, and that BMW is very battered at this point. And then we see Justin Robinson going into the pits, and he was very early on the pit limiter. Alan Sue is
Andre's
still
gonna follow him in there. But what were you saying about Alan?
Alan still out, extending the stint for as long as possible. Yeah, the battle between Easton and Jones is heating up now.
Let's go ahead and take a look over there. We got a battle of the middle engine cars here. We got the Honda and a McLaren chasing them down.
So the McLaren should be the way superior car on this track, according to me. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Go ahead and throw this out in chat again. Anybody who's looking to catch the live timings here, see the same stuff that Fred and I are looking at. Here's a link for you. Go ahead and click on that. That'll pull up the pit wall that we've got set up. Take a look at what our lap times and splits are looking like. Pretty handy for trying to keep track of where the action's at. Well, it does look like that Honda's doing a pretty good job of keeping the McLaren behind him. We'll see how long he's able to keep that up.
Yeah, let's see where Justin Robinson gets put out of his pit stop. One thing that is always very interesting with this track is since it's such a popular track, everyone pretty much kind of know how to drive it at least. So it's usually way more competitive than, for an example, seeing people on Sandfort.
Yeah. Well, the gap between Mike Jones and Ice Tin is getting smaller.
Yep.
That McLaren is reeling him in.
Yep, this exit is very important here for Mike Jones, and it looks like he's just on the track limits. But I don't think Iceland's going to be close enough this lap, honestly. Don't think that the pace advantage is that big on the straights between those cars.
No, and he's not going to be close enough to try something at the bus stop, but if he gets a couple of good exits here, Ice Tin is looking at a shot to get him by the end of the Kemmel Straight. Looking around the field, we can all see the track map there on the right side of the screen. We see a lot of people bunched up, but none of those are battles for position, which is why we're just trying to stay away from them. That's why we're following Mike Jones here and Ice Tin, who are currently battling for third.
Yeah, Justin Robinson got fed out between Adam Thompson and Eric Chang, so he's in a really good position.
Well, that was fun.
Right now.
Excuse me, it's not, is it third or is it second that these two are? Yeah, no, this is a battle for second, excuse me.
Yep.
Ooh, and Ice Tin gets a little bit loose there, overcooks the braking zone just to try and get some time on the car out in front. Didn't really play out for him the way he was hoping for, but now they are going to come down the hill into the double left-hander. Well, they're in the hairpin right now, but Mike Jones doing an excellent job of managing that gap to the car behind, not letting it get too close, but he's certainly not running away with it either.
Mike Jones is an AM driver, right?
I don't know off the top
with the
of my
AM
head.
guys, at least, I think. So he's driving a really solid race.
See, his last
Same
lap
for
was
LeBron, who is also
Yeah.
in the top 5.
This is very interesting. So Ice Tin is catching up to that Honda, the same part of the track every single time, but it does look like the driver of the Honda just has other parts of the track figured out just a little bit better. And so Ice Tin can't make the move.
I guess the Honda might be set up for straight line speed, because then the McLaren might be struggling a little bit if he's running a lot of wing. It's a bit of give and take on this track. You can run a lot of wing, but then you suffer through the first and third sector. So yeah, it basically goes down to what the driver prefers. Be fast in corners or be fast on the straights. Where we see Alessio Melis getting close to LeBron here. Don't think he's going to be able to go for a move. And LeBron going deep and almost spinning. And
Alessio spots it, but now Melon Pitch and
Alessio.
Alessio, oh my goodness, try to fit through the bus stop at the same time. I don't know how they managed to avoid hitting each other there.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive toad now going up the Camel Straight in the Rouge. I think who gets the best exit here? Looks like Melon got a really good launch there. It's going to have enough, but the question is the Nissan fast enough to actually keep up with the Ferrari, who is extremely fast on this track, especially on the straights. But Melon goes wide. But so good.
Oh, a lift out of the Ferrari though.
Yeah, I don't really know what to expect here. Now, I think that Melis might actually have a shot at LeBron here if he managed to get enough speed. But that doesn't seem to be the case. And everyone keeps their positions for now. Who's that behind? Andrew Yashke, okay. Yeah, he's just following them around. Actually, seems like he has quite some decent pace since he can follow with pretty much the front runners there. So good job on him.
Yeah, he was struggling at the beginning of the race, but it seems to have found his pace by the 20-minute mark. But yeah, was competing with Alessio for a while there actually. I wanted to yell at him when I saw it happening at first because I was like, you're blue flagged and you should not be anywhere near this. But he does have the chops to keep up with him.
Adam Thompson and Alan Sue are fighting now, with Thompson probably being at striking distance coming up the Camel Straight here, because the Porsche is not fast on the straights at all. And Thompson really gets a good launch there. Yeah, he's definitely going to have Sue on this straight. Jesus, the speed difference through there.
Zoo had to lift there at the exit of Radion just to not lose the back end, and now we're going to see what happens here. Was Adam able to get close enough? Alan is shutting the door on him, though. He's not about to. He saw what was happening and said no.
Not a big fan there of Sue. He was moving back and forth on the straight. I don't like that.
Yeah,
that is what Verstappen got a black and white flag for in the Brazil race. Just what Sue was doing there. So I'm not a big fan of that type of defending, if I'm completely honest. And now we also see Eric Chang getting close up to Justin Robinson in the Lacombe section.
Well, and Mike LeBron now has some company behind him, as Alessio has caught up to the Lexus here. And is certainly going to have a chance at him here, and if not turn one, then at the exit of Eau Rouge. Oh, he's going to try it on the outside.
To take the white line. And I think he might do it here.
I think LeBron had to compromise enough.
It's gonna be side by side going into Rouge. Who's gonna let off first? Who's gonna have the be the bravest? It looks like LeBron is gonna give him the space and Alessio goes through.
Yeah,
but also
good
that's
call.
smart by LeBron because he's in a really good spot for the AM standings for himself. But now he's also getting back at Melise because LeBron got a better exit. Why aren't you in the toe?
Oh no, stay in the toe because now. Oh. It wasn't enough though. What just happened? How did he get in front? Oh man.
It's an exciting battle going up for the. What is that fourth overall? Alessio Melise goes wide, but LeBron goes a bit too wide. Then it's on the sand, and now Mellon.
But now Mellon pitches right there, and he's gonna get him. Now we're coming down into the hairpin. That Bentley is just in a great spot to watch this all happen. I wouldn't want to be anywhere close to this. But
he shouldn't get involved at all. He should just stay back there. He's having great pace. He should just follow these leading cars at this point.
But now Mellon Pitch and Alessio Melise are going to battle it out in Sector 2. And it looks like the Lexus is going to have to do some work to catch back up to those two after that rough first sector there. But the battle rages on, and Mellon Pitch, wanted to try the inside there and thinks better of it.
Adam Thompson now being really close to Alan Stu again. And this time he definitely has the run. He has to add the run here. Unless Sue does some very interesting defending once again. They're side by side going into the Lacombe. Looks like Adam Thompson is ahead. Is Sue gonna... He's gonna go around the outside. Is Sue gonna give space? He gives space, and Adam Thompson gets a position done. Good move there by Adam.
Yeah, it was a great overtake. 1 lap overdue, but he does make it happen. And now they're going to charge down into the hairpin where we might see something interesting happen here in a couple of turns, but I really don't want to get too far away from the battle for second is still going on from what we were watching earlier between Ice Tin and Mike Jones here. Although if I'm not mistaken, Ice Tin must have overtaken Mike Jones because if I remember correctly, Mike Jones was
that is 100%
defending.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is 100% correct. So now it's the other way around. Wonder if the Honda is worse off in dirty air though. That is the question. We see Daniel Wright stuck now behind the two back markers of Eric Chang and Justin Robinson. I understand why Chang doesn't want to let Wright by, but he should just get it over and done with so Wright doesn't do anything to that screws up.
Reckless.
Chang's
We'll say
race.
reckless.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's leave that for now.
Yeah, we're gonna hop back over with Mellon Pitch. Does look like Alessio is starting to run away from him, but Mellon Pitch can't relax. Does still have that Lexus behind him.
And now Sam Carsall is getting close to Niall Drake on the Camel Straight here. Also.
We got a battle of Porsches here. Ice Tin back in second. Great consistency out of Blue Cow. Yeah, Ice Tin doing a remarkable job this race. And we've seen quite a lot of upsets. At the beginning of the race, we had 5 McLarens in the top 10. Now just 3 of them. And a couple of DNFs out of those McLarens we were talking about earlier in the race. But Niall Drake, Sam Carsall, both in Porsches, one with a controller, one with a wheel, as they come around the hairpin here, now down into Pujan. What game is this? This is it's a game called Assetto Corsa Competizione. You can see that. Yeah, it's just underneath what where it says live and the name of the title, but still happy to try and mangle that pronunciation. Don't worry, you and I are in the same club then, friend. But welcome, if this is your first time ever seeing a sim. My name's Matt. I'm joined by Fred here in the commentary booth. And we now just 13 minutes left in this race here at Spa, and it has been action-packed this entire time. And we're actually going to hop back over to the battle between Ice Tin and Mike Jones because they are about to try a Rouge and Radion here again. Oh, and a rough turn 1 for Ice Tin, and Mike Jones definitely gets the better exit there, and now we're about to see some action.
It looked very squirmy though on the exit from Mike Jones. I think it was a tad bit too early on the throttles, but this should give Mike a good tow down the entire Camel Straight, and they both keep it on track. Although Mike looked a bit squirmy on the going through there, but he didn't spin the car out. But he's definitely in the top. He should be having a bit of a top speed advantage.
Oh, but Ice Tin tries. Yep.
And later on the brakes. But Easton is probably gonna keep the. That was very cautious by Jones there. I would have probably tried to stuck it up the inside, outside to then have the inside for the next corner.
Wow, and that was expertly defended by Ice Tin there, diving over to the inside to get the better line through Lacombe. Ooh, but it looks like he got a little bit of a slip there going around the hairpin. Doesn't look.
We have Afonso being spun round again. He's having a nightmare of a race.
Okay, and I hop back over to Niall Drake and Sam Carasala charging up the Camel straight here. I don't think Sam is close enough to get the toe, or at least not enough of one to try something going into Lacombe.
Looks like Adam Thompson has gotten passed by Alan Sue again, so that battle will be starting up again soon.
We now have a 3-car race, or battle rather, for 9th place here as David Chang has caught up to Niall Drake and Sam Carasala, who are duking it out, coming around the hairpin right now.
Oh, Robinson has either gotten punted or gone wide into the bus stop. I'm gonna go have a look.
Okay. Just out for real players. We've been following these same drivers now for I think we're seven weeks. Yeah, 7 weeks into the season. Just a couple more left.
No, 9. We've had 2 break weeks as well.
Well, 2 break weeks, but it's round 7.
Yep. Justin Robinson just going really deep into the bus stop, braking too late, and that gives Eric Chang a position.
Yeah, and let's take a look.
So
how is the battle between Eric and Pop Dog going? So he is still out in front of Pop Dog by 2 positions. Justin Robinson in between the 2 of them.
16 seconds behind Adam Thompson. I don't think he'll have enough time to catch back up to Adam Thompson there.
Ooh, Niall Drake and Sam Carasala, you're going to want to get over to this because Sam is going to have a look at him at the bus stop. He is in the tow. Can't decide what side. Looks like they both run wide coming around Blanchimont. And it looks like
David Chang's also in this all of a sudden.
Yeah,
so
now a McLaren
battle
has entered the Porsche chat. Exactly. Thomas, thank you. This is the GT3 class for chat out there. And you can tell Sam's getting impatient. Late on the brakes there into turn 1, trying to just scrub away inches from Niall Drake's lead here. And he is definitely going to have a great run through Eau Rouge. Hopefully neither one of them lifts, because if not, we're going to have an interesting race down the Kemmel Straight here. Oh, both of them cut the inside of that. I think Sam is close enough to get the draft here. No Corvettes yet. Hopefully we will have a Corvette GT3 in the next couple of years, but nothing anytime soon.
Yeah, the Corvettes are gonna release, or Chevrolet are gonna release a GT3 version of the C8, if I understood correctly.
Yeah.
So it might be happening soon. I think they were talking about it in 2023 or 2024, so it's at least a year away.
Apollo Racing Club has entered the chat, folks. Says, Lord, no, they'd get smoked. I don't know. That C8 Z06 has got some serious chops. 640 horsepower out of a naturally aspirated V8 engine. Has never been done in a production car before that thing came out. And now that the engine's in the middle of the car where God intended, we might see some very interesting racing out of the Corvettes. We do got a Camaro though in the GT4 class. We might also be joined by a Mustang here pretty soon in the GT4 class.
Worth mentioning though is that the Camaro isn't the most competitive car at the moment.
No, it is not.
I just want to put that out there. And the battle between Thompson and Sue heating up again.
Yep, we're
Thompson
watching them
is
on
really
stream
close
right
to
now.
Sue. Yep. Hello?
Yep. Sorry, I knocked something over on my desk.
Oh yeah. Just wanted to check out so you didn't like pass out or something.
No.
I heard a thud.
I've had a couple drinks, not that many yet.
Good.
Man, there is just
looks like.
Go ahead, it's all you.
Yeah. The battle for 9th, 10th, and 11th is really close because Sam Carasala is right up the rear on Niall Drake now, and it looks like Sam is going to try and move up the inside going into La Sauce. He's going to get it done.
Does Niall have the cut in though? I think Sam had a compromise there, but he is going to make the pass happen.
Yeah, and now Niall is immediately under danger from Chang.
Oh, and this is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun angle to watch here. Don't lift, Niall. Hang on to it. He does. Almost perfect execution out of the Porsche driver, but he is going to have a McLaren in the draft.
It looks like Sam lifted, though, because Niall is right up the rear of Sam all of a sudden.
Sure enough.
So,
Camera switch just in time. We're going to see this. Oh, it's going to be close. And there's contact. Niall, what a save. What in the world?
I don't think it was contact. I just think it was a big snap back, and that drops him behind David Chang all of a sudden. Oh, that's so sad, because it looked like it was so close for Niall to being able to make it stick around the outside going into the Lassos.
Something I want to point out to the newcomers in chat, because I know we've got a couple. The Porsche we're following of Niall Drake, the man drives with a Xbox controller, and he's still faster than me, and it makes me mad. But he's going to have a look at the... Ooh, good. I'm glad that he got on the brakes there, because that would have been a risky move as we watch the McLaren loses control and almost collects the rear quarter panel of Niall Drake. Barely manages to avoid...
Adam Thompson spun out. I think he was into the wall in Eau Rouge. Gonna have a look and see how much damage he has. Give me a second. It's front end damage for sure. Not sure how much though. Rear end looks... Yeah, the wing of that car does not look good. He's spun round again.
And
it's all coming undone, and he's in the wall in the sauce. That gives Chang another position. That's huge for the AM standings.
And I would love to look up there, but right now, Melon Pitch under attack by G. Ingersoll, the newcomer to the league. We've seen go from second down to almost, I think he was in 14th, but now back up into 8th. And trying to take it away from Melon Pitch in the Nissan out in front, and is certainly going to have a look at doing so on this lap, as we've seen G. Ingersoll very, very quick in that McLaren, and is in excellent position here to have a run at him on the Kemmel straight here.
It's going to be interesting to see at the end of the straight. But I do think that the Nissan has more grunt on the straight, but it all depends on if he lifted or not in the Rouge, which it looks like he does, since Ingersoll is right up the rear of Melon Pitch now, all of a sudden.
Melon taking the defensive posture. Ooh, is he going to have him on the outside? Ooh, a little bit of slip out of both of them, but it looks like the front engine Nissan's able to handle it just a little bit better. But now that McLaren's going to be right on his rear bumper coming down to the hairpin. Yeah,
I think that battle is going to have to wait into the back straight now. There's no more overtaking positions for a while. Nothing interesting going on. It looks like Tommy Cogan is starting to catch up to Michael LeBron now, also. Almost within a second of each other at the moment.
See that going on. Let's keep watching this battle over here. Melon Pitch pushed wide off of the double left-hander. That is going to allow Gabriel Ingersoll to make his way around on the inside. Just out for a rip in the chat. I've played Forza Motorsport my whole life. This game is refreshing. This game is a very different game from Forza Motorsport. And that's how I grew up getting into racing. This one, Assetto Corsa, was my first sim. And you are correct. It is very, very, very refreshing because very different game. It's also nice to get something that is so true to life as this game is. In fact, the devs get mad at you when you call it a game because it really is a simulator first. Not Horizons, you talking Forza Motorsport. What's the most recent one now? I think it's 6,
Hot Dog
7.
is running with a lot of front-end damage. Just want to mention that. And Adam Thompson is in the pits. He was having such a good race, but now he has to go into the pits to repair. That's so sad for him. He was doing such a good job.
Ooh, Melon Pitch and David Ingersoll there having a little bit of a disagreement on how they wanted to handle the bus stop there, but managed to avoid contact. Pop Dog almost caught in the middle of it there. I think that's who. No, that's Matty Byrne, excuse me.
Oh, Pop Dog is behind.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's right. Matty Dog. Yep. Matt retired there. So, yep, that's Pop Dog behind there. Oh, my goodness. Melon Pitch and the McLaren about to try something very scary, which is taking a Rouge on top of one another. It looks like Melon Pitch lifts just before the turn there. Hopefully he doesn't lose enough time.
Yeah, he lost too much time. He's not going to have him at the end of the straight. A bit too impatient there by Pitch. He should have just put it up behind Ingersoll there and had the toe for the entire straight, so a bit too impatient.
I honestly,
and
I
then
think.
he rides the curbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, knowing pitch, that was probably just a judgment call not to risk trying to take a Rouge so close to another car. But yeah, it does not seem to have worked out for him super well, as we can see by the end of the Kemmel Straight now into the hairpin, that McLaren does have a pretty healthy gap. What else is going on around the track? Let's see, Niall Drake under attack by David Chang right now. Coming through Lacombe, or La Source, excuse me.
No, Lacombe.
Or no, Lacombe, I was right, yeah.
Yeah, La Source's first corner on the F1 track. The hairpin after the... yeah, nice. Good, sorry.
That's just me getting words wrong. That's what I do. I'm real good at it.
Looks like Easton has also pulled a bit of a gap now to Mike Jones, so looks like Easton is going to get a P2 in the overall standings if everything stays as it is right now. We see David Chang being really close to Niall Drake now, going into the mid-speed, right left. Now coming up to Stavelon, and yeah, let's see how good of an exit David Chang gets. He gets a good one, while Niall doesn't really get a good one. I think it's going to be close here. David Chang is side by side now, going towards Blanchimont. They nudge. They touch it a bit.
No! Disaster for the number 500 Ferrari of Adam Thompson. Gets a stop and go 30 for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh, that's so sad.
That is rough.
Yeah, and he had been doing such a good job up until like the last 10 minutes of the race.
Ooh, we almost just saw another incident there between Niall Drake and David Chang there.
We have a pit maneuver!
Ooh, that was not good.
No, that's not nice at all. And I think Niall is gonna let... No, never mind.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, that was not a pretty one, according to me.
That one was pretty rough to watch, but that is going to be Niall Drake in 10th. And a massive hit to David Chang there in the McLaren. Let's hope he still has the front end arrow to get around a Rouge. He does. May not be out of it yet.
We'll see what happens here.
And that is the call out.
Right.
The race is coming to a close. Daniel Wright crosses the start-finish line to start the final lap of this race. And it does look like Niall Drake, while I was away, gave the position back to David Chang there.
Yep, he did.
Which I would expect no less out of him. But I believe that that is the only battle for position on the track that's close right now.
Yep, it has sort of died down a little bit here towards the end.
So we will keep an eye on these two until the end of the end of their respective races. Although I believe they have 2 laps to go because of where Daniel Wright was when he started his lap. I mean, looking on the track right now, I think that is the case.
Daniel Wright now going through the hairpin, getting past Jeff Fleischmann, who is currently in 13th, also driving a solid race in a very nervous Audi. It's a good job on him.
Taking a look at Eric Chang on the stream right now, who we were talking about, him and Pop Dog currently racing for the AM win, and it is looking real good for Eric Chang right now, with a couple of cars between him and the competitor Pop Dog.
Yeah, I'm not sure how big the point difference will be, so that's something that I'll have to check out after the race. But I'm expecting Chang to have the AM lead after this one.
Yeah, not this far down the leaderboard. Not enough. Not sure if it's enough for an actual closeout win at this point, but we'll know after this race.
Niall is parking, from what I could see.
Did he run out of... No, he didn't. Did he run out of gas? Or is he just...
I'm not sure.
Or is he just waiting for Daniel Wright to cross the start-finish line?
Yeah, but then he...
He had to have. He has to have run out of. Yeah, I bet you anything. He didn't want to. He couldn't have completed another lap, so he just sat there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he lost the position to Cody Barrett though, who finishes 11. No, why isn't he driving? I'm a bit confused. What's going on here?
I think he thought he was finished and just realized that he wasn't. So yeah, you got another lap to go to, Cody. Make it count.
Yep. And Eric Chang coming over the finishing line there in overall 15th. Not really sure where that places him in the AM standing today, but that should be the close lead for now.
All right, coming across the line right now for second place, and a well-deserved second place, Ice 10 in the 121 McLaren. An excellent drive out of him, very consistent drive out of Ice 10 today.
Very good drive.
And that is why he is finishing in second. M. Jones in third, just behind him there in the Honda.
We have a bit of contact.
A little bit of post-race contact. Alessio Melise crossing the line in fourth place. M. LeBron not far behind him in fifth. Tommy Kogan in sixth place. That Porsche really giving him trouble. But still putting on a good drive there. Drives it right out into the tire barrier. Newcomer Gabriel Ingersoll crossing in seventh place. Mellon Pitch just behind him. Almost cinches that seventh place finish. But in eighth place, Sam Carsala coming around the bus stop chicane right now.
Liam McNeil is getting dangerously close to Pop Dog here with his damage, but it looks like if McNeil had one more lap, he was going to get Pop Dog there, but that, and I think the only car still out on there's three cars on track. It's David Chang, Cody Barrett, and Adam Thompson. And Adam Thompson is probably gonna be the last car to finish because he's going through.
Yep. The double left-hander right now. Yep. And then we've got Cody Barrett back here, who remembered he had another lap to drive and is finishing that up right now. But those are going to be our standings, folks. I'll go ahead and pull it up here just while we've got it. So we got Daniel Wright, Ice 10, M. Jones making up our podium finishers. Big hats off to Daniel Wright for a commanding finish in first place. And then we've got, let's see, Alessio Melise in fourth, Tommy Kogan 5, G. Ingersoll in sixth. Those must have shifted because people have probably disconnected now, but hopefully we got pretty close there. And I already read them off as they were crossing the start-finish line. There goes Cody Barrett to finish this race. With that extra lap tacked on there at the end. But let's see here. I know that you had mentioned wanting to play with some driver interviews here. I'm going to go ahead and put us back to the... And actually, if you're still out there, Mr. League Admin, I need a stream ending slide, if you wouldn't mind, because right now we just have the starting soon one that I need to go mute, I think. Let's take a look here. No, it's still doing its thing, but that is... Now we're on the starting soon. So that is our race, everybody. I think right now we're trying to get somebody for a post-race interview.
Yep.
Do we have anybody lined up?
Yeah, we'll start with the winner of this race, who is Daniel Wright. So I'm going to pull him into the commentator's booth right now.
Excellent.
Hello, Daniel. Good race.
Hello, thank you.
Green light. Go, go, go.
So first of all, before we start to talk about the race, I want to check, how has your experience been with the new tire model?
Well, you know, it's definitely different. It took a little bit of learning, a little bit of getting used to, but you know, I definitely I like the way it feels. It's a lot better, but it does bring the lap times down a bit. But yeah, I mean, after I got used to it, it's not too bad.
Okay, sounds good. You're driving the McLaren. How do you feel that the BOP has changed after the updates? Have you have a look at what cars have gotten weight added and weight reduced and so on?
Yeah, I did take a look at that. It looks like they didn't really hit the McLaren too hard. So I think the McLaren's still going to be a pretty strong car overall with the new BOP. There will be some shuffling, I think. It took a little bit of a hit on some of its strongest tracks, but got a little bit of a bump on the weaker ones. So, yeah, I mean, I think the McLaren will still be one of the better cars moving forward.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, going into qualifying here. Well, if we start with practice first, you had a big gap to anyone else there. It looked like you were comfortable from the get-go, and we could definitely see that in the in the qualifying, where you were the only one that managed to get into the 17s.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised by that. I mean, I knew that the Porsche wasn't that good here at Spa, so I knew I should be able to get a gap from Kogan um, a bit, but I was kind of surprised at the gap I had with everyone else. But um, yeah, I mean, either way, it kind of worked out. It's about a second slower than it used to be, but managed to get a really good qualifying lap in, a little faster than I thought I'd get. So um, yeah, it ended up being a really good run.
Yeah. And the race wasn't too eventful for you. Had the lead going down the Camel Straight, had the lead going through Les Eaux, and it was done after that. Solid pit stop. No, nothing after that. But it's been quite a boring race for you, though.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the only thing I was worried about was just at the start. The Porsche is kind of a rocket ship, and he was starting right behind me. And
Yep.
at early initial acceleration, the Porsche is really quick, so I just wanted to keep him behind me going up Eau Rouge.
Mhm.
And then once that happened, I felt pretty confident.
Yeah, sounds good. So now, looking onwards towards Donington, what is your feeling going into that track? Do you have a lot of experience there?
I do. It's actually one of my favorite tracks, but there the Porsche and the McLaren should be really close in pace. So I think Kogan is gonna bring a fight to me that round. But we'll see. It'll be a lot of work to try to get another win over there.
Okay. Thank you for coming by, and I'll see you in the next round of the ARC GT3 League.
Yep.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Congrats
on
on the
another
win.
race in.
All right, thank you.
All right,
So
folks.
then, sorry, I think we should
go for
talk
it.
to Mike Jones as well, the Split 2 winner.
Yeah, if you have already gotten a hold of him, then I see he's muted in another channel right now. So whenever you're ready.
I'm going to pull him in here.
Okay.
Hello, Mike.
Hey there.
You are in Split 2, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, correct.
And you should not be in Split 2 for much longer, finishing on the podium. Good race, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm very happy to see a fellow Honda driver doing really well, so I was rooting for you throughout the entire thing.
I appreciate
But let's wind the clock back a bit before the race. How has the new tire model been for you thus far?
I really struggled with it a lot. I had to change a lot of stuff with my setup. I came up with something that kind of worked. It's really rough on the front tires, though. But
Okay.
yeah.
Then going into qualifying and so on, how did it feel? I don't really remember where you finished in the AM stand. Was it second after
for
the
my
Aussie
split,
guy?
I was third. Yeah, I missed.
Third, okay.
And I screwed up a lap that would have been first, I think. But it was third.
Okay, but for the race, it looked really good for you. You were up to second there for a short time as well, but looked like the McLaren was a bit too strong towards the end.
Yeah, I was watching. I think Mellis close in on us, and I was like, "There's no benefit to battling the. I can either, have a podium or have nothing." I think so.
Yeah, well, a third position overall is not bad at all. So if we look forwards a bit, next week going into Donington, how do you feel about that track? Personally,
that's one of my favorite tracks, really. But I haven't driven it since the update, so we'll see how it goes.
One thing I want to mention though is pre-patch, the Honda was by far the best car there, and it wasn't even remotely close. After the patch, they reduced the weight, increased the weight a little bit. But I'm still expecting the Honda to be mighty quick around there because it wasn't a significant weight increase.
Okay, well, that's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yep. Thank you for stopping by, and congrats on a overall podium and a split win.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right. I think that is going to do it for our post-race interviews. Let's see. We just got a last-second call-out from a first-time viewer, Cross Insidious. Let's Go Chang, did end up having a bit of a rough race, but Eric did manage to finish ahead of his competitor for the AM win. Have yet to see how the points are going to work out by the time that that's all said and done. But he did end up winning the important battle, which was to beat Pop Dog, who was competing for the AM overall win there. I know it says streams starting. That's just because I don't have a slide for when it's ending yet. But that is going to do it for us here at Apollo Racing Club. Very exciting race at Spa. Certainly no lack of exciting races to watch, and a lot of good battles going on there. But that is going to do it for us this week. Next week, we will be at Donington, which is one of those British tracks that just barely wide enough for cars to fit on. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on over there. But that is all I have. Fred, do you have anything else you'd like to say before we close up the stream?
No, not really. It was a good race as usual. We'll see if the weather gods are with us next week as well, because it was good conditions for today, but Britain is known for its rain.
Rain and cold temperatures. But join us again next week, same time, same channel. We will be at Donington. We'll see what the weather gods have decided our race is going to look like. But that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Hopefully we catch you next week.